Monday Night Football, and that is exactly what Lawrence and this Jaguar team did against Kansas City. A tremendous drive that results in a go-ahead score, a penalty on the kick, and Kansas City really didn't have much time to get as far as they needed. Remember, after Kansas City took the lead, the kickoff went out of bounds. That means that Jacksonville started at the 40, but this is a throw on 3rd and 7 to Brian Thomas, and a tremendous throw at that. And then here, yet again, it's a 3rd down throw, and it is pass interference on Shamari Connor, and that puts the ball at the 1-yard line. And from there, this is the most ridiculous touchdown that Lawrence has probably ever had in his life. He falls down in the middle of the backfield, and those talented Chiefs rushers not able to get to him. Got to be just a terrifying moment. Can't get to his feet. He's got to be thinking he's going to get sacked. Instead, up on his feet, runs out of a tackle, runs into the end zone, and the Jaguars get the victory after this throw it as far as you can moment from Patrick Mahomes. Kind of fluttered and fell harmlessly to the ground. That's it, and that's all. The Jacksonville Jaguars get the victory, and what a football game this was. 38-28. Joe and Troy were on the call. And Joe, I'll start with you as I always do. I look at the stat sheet here in front of me, and to see 13 penalties for 109 yards, a pick six that went, 99, which was an amazing play. It's just awfully unusual to see Kansas City kind of contribute to what ultimately is their own demise, isn't it?
Yeah, I was actually going to go there late in the game because it just felt like this is such an atypical game for what we've come to expect from Andy Reid's Kansas City Chiefs. It just was one of those nights. I mean, the penalties piled up. The special teams penalties were killers.
Right.
You get the kickoff out of bounds. It helps to start the drive at the 40. You know, it was just one of those nights, I think, for Kansas City. And like you said, one of those nights for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was, for them, a thing of beauty. And who knows what this launches them into being as they go through the rest of this season. This is a big win for Liam Cohen's team.
Without question, first-year coach, and they're 4-1. And Troy, you made the point coming out of the 2-minute timeout that this is the kind of drive that can change a season. And I'm thinking, yeah, but I'm interested in your perspective. I mean, when you win a game this way against that team who has been the yardstick against which all others are measured in the AFC, what's your sense of what this means for them in the short and long term?
Well, this is one of those defining games. I mean, the season's going to determine what ultimately this game meant. But I think that if they can continue to do what they've shown up to this point, like all good teams, whether it was the teams I was a part of, the Kansas City Chiefs, or whoever, you look back and you say, you know, that was the game that got us going. This organization, in large part, has been on the mat for quite some time, and this is a game that when they look back, if they ultimately are able to go on and do what they're capable of doing and what they hope to do, this is that game, because it was a measuring stick by all accounts. And to be able to be here at home, the crowd was excited to be watching to see what they were going to be able to do. And as Trevor Lawrence said at the end of the game, it wasn't perfect, but no game is, but they did what they had to do at the end, and this is a big win.
I agree, and I'm interested, Joe, in your perspective as well, just on how much of a magnifier it is because of who it was against. I mean, I'm down here at field level, and people are excited, but you know they've got to be scared to death because there's time on the clock, and we've seen what that man can do. Troy, you made the point it's not over. Joe, the magnifier that are the Chiefs on this night, how do you see it?
Yeah, I see it the same way. I mean, this was an impressive night. I mean, they're down 14-0.
Right.
And nothing was really working. They were down 7-0, and then they're knocking on the door, and the Chiefs make a couple of stops on Lawrence, trying to run it in, then trying to go over the top. Then they take it down 93 yards, or 97 yards, and end up getting it into the end zone. It's 14-0, and you're thinking an answer's got to come right now. And they kept answering, and that play by Devin Lloyd was phenomenal. And then they got the bad call on the no call on the pass interference that led to an interception that led to the game-tying touchdown. There were a lot of things that I think Jacksonville in years past, and Troy was making this point during the game, might have folded the tents, and they didn't, and they kept coming. And they end up winning this game. That's why I think it's got a little extra oomph to it here tonight.
A lot of layers. Who they beat, the resilience they showed. It's a heck of a night here in Duval County. Hey, you're in my neighborhood next week, but it's a doubleheader, so I don't get to drive to that one. I get to go to New York and talk to you, and instead of face to face, it'll be like this.
We will we'll go turn the lights on at your house, and we'll have it nice and cozy for you when you get back.
The kids and Steph would love to see you. You swing on by, and I'll be there late. Okay.
All right. Good.
Go.
We'll see you, fellas.
All right.
Thank you, buddy.
See you, Scott.
All right, Joe and Troy. On the night that the Jaguars get a victory coming up, a couple of games ahead of the bye, they take on Seattle and the Rams. You see it's yet another big game for the Chiefs. That's all they seem to play. They're everybody's biggest game. They take on Detroit. Vegas and Washington will be in Arrowhead for a game week 8, and then a game against Buffalo before their bye. But this is a 2-3 start for a team that, as Joe mentioned on the broadcast, didn't lose its third last year until the Super Bowl.
All right, before we dive into exactly what may or may not have happened here, Dan, what specifically is sign stealing in the NFL?
Legal.
Yes. So I want to be conscious of the words that I'm using. So one of the ways that I have been a part of stuff like this in the past was, and specifically if you're playing as the road team, the opposing teams at home, they're on defense, loud crowd, right? And so we would at times go no huddle. One of the reasons we would do that was we would get up to the line of scrimmage, crowd's going crazy, going no huddle. We would get lined up into a formation, and then we would try to see if we can get signals from the nonverbal element by the defense or a defensive signal caller of oh, we're in 2x2, and I see the secondary going like this to their quads. That means, well, it's probably going to be cover 4. And so then do we have enough time on the play clock to then get us into a cover 4 beater when it comes to a really good pass concept that could be the perfect play to attack that coverage. And so I think that's a lot of the stuff, at least that I've been a part of. It's not this unbelievable cheating stuff where you're studying tape on film. It's more of no huddle. What do we see that we know is their go-to? Okay, can we take advantage of it?
I think a lot of people were surprised that Liam Cohen was so upset with Robert Saleh, so much so that I started texting NFL sources and saying, did he overdo it there? Because he didn't see it in the clip. He goes after Saleh and says, keep my name out of your mouth. And Saleh very, very apologetically was like, I was meaning to compliment you. I wasn't trying to insult you. I didn't realize just how much of a trigger the term sign stealing is amongst the coaching community. Sure. For Liam Cohen, there's another part to this. You're the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars that are considered the 32nd market in the NFL. The Jacksonville Jaguars that have been the joke and the laughingstock of the NFL nearly the last decade. The Jacksonville Jaguars that have been through all these head coaches and all these players, and it seems like just a stop along the way. At 3-1, coming off their probably the most significant win in years, Liam Cohen wanted to show his young team, we don't take that from anybody. I don't care how big Robert Saleh is. I think it was two-pronged. I do think he was insulted. His dad's a coach. He's a coach. That's a word you never want to hear.
That's an ethical thing.
Ethical thing. And the second part, there was a little WWE to this. Hey, I'm going to show my guys, my players, we don't take that from anybody, even the big bad 49ers and Robert Saleh.
Yeah. It's interesting. In talking to the Jags this week, Liam Cohen said, look, I have a lot of respect for the 49ers and for teams like this that are in the upper echelon of the NFL. He's like, that's who we're trying to be. And he didn't want that to get misconstrued, right? He didn't want all of this to maybe be communicated the wrong way. But the one thing that he did say as he was going through all that, he finishes it up by being like, and we're not the same old Jags anymore. And I was like, that's it, right? Like, he wants to show.
It's got to be an all-the-time thing.
They're all buying into the tone that he's setting. It's been incredible to see. This is a great opportunity for them tonight in prime time against a team like the Chiefs, who everybody knows. No matter who's on their roster, they can be really tough.
He's 39 years old. His offensive coordinator, Grant Udinski, is 29 years old. The defensive coordinator's 40. The GM, James Gladstone, is 34. They're a bunch of kids. Yeah. And they're 3-1, and they're excited. And you know what? You're not going to talk down.
And the nation is looking forward to you hosting Monday Night Football tonight because of your success.
Good point, and a credit to Liam Cohen for all of that. All right, let's get back to more of the action from Week 5 on Sunday. The Texans